As of a couple of days ago, the SEC just filed a new motion to extend discovery in the case against Ripple. Now, there's really only two reasons that they're doing this, and I'm going to discuss what those reasons could be and what's going to happen with the price of XRP in the rest of this year's market cycle, with or without the SEC case's price suppression. I'm also going to discuss a lengthening market cycle for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto space, because I've been actually alluding to this in many of my videos over the past couple of months. Well, in today's video, I'm actually going to discuss where I've been actually getting some of my information from, as well as several other people that are jumping on board the lengthening market cycle train. And so I'm going to go over a little bit of the scenarios and on-chain data that are actually pointing to a longer market cycle, and actually why they are thinking that. And also, what is that going to do to XRP, again, with or without this SEC case. And speaking of Bitcoin, today was the first day that the Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund, which is a futures ETF, not a spot ETF, was actually traded on the market. I'm going to tell you what was actually doing to the price of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin right now is on the cusp of setting new all-time highs. So is this futures ETF that was actually passed and is now being traded, is it actually hurting Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto space? We're helping it. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, I am covering the Ripple versus SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if you want to follow along with any or all of these topics, make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind. Don't forget to hit that bell notification icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. And as always, I believe that people in the crypto space are some of the most generous people on the planet. So if you are feeling generous today, I'd really appreciate it if you do two things. Number one, smash that thumbs up button. Number two, watch this video all the way to the end. Those are really, truly the two best things that you can do to support a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So the big news of today was the Bitcoin Futures ETF that was officially approved over the weekend and last week is officially now trading as of today, Monday. And it made a whole lot of, well, nothing. Because if you followed Bitcoin's price throughout the day, you saw that it had a little bit of volatility in the beginning of the day. It spiked up and then it spiked down and then it just kind of settled in. Now, granted, it's been climbing since the morning, but not a whole lot. Right now, it's sitting at about 63,000. It did peak to 64,000 at one point, but it settled back down below 63,000 again. Right now, just under 64K. So it didn't exactly spike and have this huge green candle that some people were predicting, which would actually happen, because this Bitcoin ETF that was actually just approved is a futures ETF. As I've said in my other videos, this is basically just a bet on the future price of Bitcoin. You're not actually buying Bitcoin when you're investing in this ETF. That's one of the many reasons why some people speculate that it's not the best thing in the world for crypto or for Bitcoin, because A, there's expensive fees that go along with investing in those ETFs. And if those people were actually interested in investing in Bitcoin, well, they're not actually doing it now. They're not actually buying Bitcoin and custodying it. They're just investing into a futures-based ETF. Again, it's kind of more or less a gamble, which is really interesting because that's the kind of thing that the SEC says it's trying to negate, which is essentially the gamification of the investment markets. They're not doing a whole lot of good. But comment in the comment section down below if you think a futures-based ETF will be good for Bitcoin or bad for Bitcoin. But if you're looking for an ETF that will actually help out Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto space, Grayscale, which has the largest Bitcoin trust in the world, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, has officially filed to turn that Bitcoin trust into a spot ETF, meaning actual Bitcoin will be bought when someone invests into that ETF. Actual Bitcoin will be bought and custodied for them. It's not the same as owning Bitcoin, but nonetheless, money will actually be spent buying Bitcoin. That's why a lot of people say the spot ETFs are the thing that are actually going to make the Bitcoin price move. So that's something to keep an eye on. I will definitely be keeping my eye on that as well. And the other point that I wanted to talk about today was the lengthening market cycle that I've been talking about and alluding into in some of my videos for the past couple of months. Well, there's some people, some on-chain analysts, some market cycle analysts, some traders that have been watching that have been, a lot of people have been pointing to the end of the year as this big payoff, this big blow off top, as the end of the market cycle. But there's been a few that have kind of stuck out over the last 3 or 4, even 5 months that say this market cycle is different. One of the videos that I just watched, it just came out this morning, Benjamin Cowan, who is a crypto analyst, and he's been talking about market cycles for a long time now, just came out with a video. I will link it in the description below. You can check it out after you watch this video, of course. But he talks about the lengthening market cycles and diminishing returns. Now, in it, he actually covers a few different things. The length of time from the actual Bitcoin halving until the market cycle peak in past market cycles, as well as from the market low to the market peak of other market cycles. And if you look at both of them, they all point to a much longer lengthening market cycle. He also discusses what the peak could be. And if you listen to some of the analysts that say, well, if you look at previous market cycles, look at the low point of the previous market cycles, Bitcoin essentially 100x or close to 100x what the low was until that market cycle peak. However, the people looking at that type of price speculation just say there isn't enough runway. There's only like 60 days left until that market cycle is actually supposed to happen. It's just probably not going to happen. Now, if you look at what BitBoy Crypto predicted, he used the golden ratio that said mid-September was going to be Bitcoin's peak. Not even close. Some other ones said mid-October is going to be the peak based on how many weeks from the halving and the other market cycles. It wasn't even close. Now, of course, there's a lot of others saying the end of December, maybe the first week of January, probably going to be the blow-off top that everybody is looking for. So I'm looking at Benjamin Cohen, I'm looking at Plan B on Twitter, who is the author of the Stock to Flow X model, in terms of predicting where a possible blow-off top peak would be for Bitcoin. And they're all pointing to a similar time frame. I would say the earliest that some of those are pointing to would be the end of January. Some of them are saying end of March, beginning of April is actually when we're going to see that blow off top. So like I said, I will link that video in the description down below. You can go and check out some of that analysis. Moving on to the Ripple versus SEC case. As of a couple of days ago, the SEC actually filed a motion to the judge to extend discovery in this case until January 14th. They wanted a 2-month extension of the case. Now, there's really only 2 reasons why they would want to do this. Now, outside attorney Jeremy Hogan actually pointed out that typically it's the defense that requests an extension of discovery, not the other way around. Ripple wants this case wrapped up as quick as possible. It seems like the SEC wants to drag this out as long as they possibly can. He says something like that typically points to maybe the fact that the SEC hasn't actually allocated near enough resources to actually take on this case, maybe because it's a sham. Oh, did I say that out loud? But nonetheless, they want to push discovery out until mid-January. But there was a Twitter user, CryptoJ, I saw, that pointed out that when the judge was responding to John Deaton's motion to intervene on behalf of XRP holders, she actually responded with this. She said, discovery in this action has already been extended, and the court is not inclined to permit further delay by granting intervention or prolonging discovery. So as Jeremy Hogan pointed out, we'll see if she stays consistent and goes ahead and denies this motion. Now, there may be some give because Ripple has essentially already agreed to a December 10th extension. So a lot of people are speculating that she may grant the extension, but only till December 10th, which is what Ripple actually said in their response. Because as you've seen in this case, both sides respond when there is a motion filed. So Ripple responded, and of course they said, well, listen, they can't ask for this kind of extension. In fact, we've already agreed to December 10th. They give a bunch of reasons why they don't think it should be granted. Now, but the interesting part was, they actually said for the first time that I've seen Ripple use this defense is that this case and the ongoing, all the procedures of this case is essentially prejudiced against Ripple and essentially freezing XRP in the markets. And they cited all the 20 exchanges that basically delisted XRP as soon as the SEC suit came down, and how this is essentially affecting XRP and Ripple's products because Ripple uses XRP as their liquidity item for some of their projects. And this was the first time I've seen Ripple use that defense, so I really can't wait to see what the judge responds to based on what Ripple just said. Because some people might look at that and say, well, that's just Ripple saying, listen, we need to get this case over with or else this market cycle is going to miss XRP and miss a whole lot of market cap for the XRP token. And they are right. Because even if it would extend to December 10th, it's likely pushing any kind of decision into January. That could be the end of the market cycle, or maybe not. Maybe the market cycle is just getting heated up at that time. Or maybe the Bitcoin market cycle is going to see its peak, and as blockchain backer and several other analysts say, we're going to see altcoin mania take over, and as Bitcoin dominance declines again, you're going to see altcoins shoot to new all-time highs and have real wealth generated. It's going to be something to keep an eye on. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about all these price predictions and these market cycles, and if it's actually going to end in January, is it actually going to end in the spring, and is it going to affect XRP? So here's my personal opinion. Based on the last 6 to 8 months of research that I've actually put into this, I personally feel like if XRP misses this complete market cycle, regardless of when it ends, I think XRP is still going to go to between $5 to $7 if Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoins go on their parabolic tear. If Ripple actually gets this case finished and finalized and XRP gets absolute clarity before the market cycle ends, I think you could see a $20 to $30 XRP at this market cycle peak. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Like I said, all those links and resources will be in the description below. You can go check out the video discussing the market cycle lengthening, as well as you can follow me on Twitter, because a lot of these topics that I discuss and find a lot of the information from some on-chain LS, technical analysis, things like that, I also follow on Twitter and retweet a lot of their information. So you can go and follow me there if you want to keep up to date on that. But if you want to keep up to date with the Ripple versus SEC story and everything else, make sure to follow me on the Late Night Grind channel. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.